Since the beginning of recorded history, pretty much every period of time in every corner of the world, writers have contemplated the end of the world, whether it's going to be world war or cataclysmic destruction from asteroids crashing into us from outer space, or giant volcanoes in Yellowstone blowing up. Somehow, some way, at some point in the future, we're all toast. And for some reason, that concept of the end of the world resonates at least a little bit with pretty much everybody. And thus, cars like this 2009 Jeep Wrangler that we just took in trade here at Infinity of Kirkland also on some level resonate with us. And sure, it doesn't do a single measurable, even competitively, with anything else on the market. It's not fast from 0 to 60, doesn't have great brakes, certainly not going to win any races around the track. But if the end of the world were to come, or maybe just a terrible snowstorm like we have every few years up here in Seattle, or you know what, you're just the kind of person who doesn't like to be on the beaten path and wants to go way, way, way off the beaten path, then this is clearly the vehicle for you, because nothing in the world is going to slow this 6-speed Jeep Wrangler down in no way, shape, or form. Giant boulders, trees falling down, whatever it is, this can cross them all. Low river levels, whatever it is, if you need to get from point A to point B and there's something in your way, consider it not in your way anymore. This Jeep is the one for you. Now, stock, these have 10.2 inches of ground clearance. So just take something that's 10.2 inches tall and imagine that you'll cross over that, no problems whatsoever. This one's obviously lifted a little bit and has these big giant off-road tires, so your clearance even goes up a wee bit. This one's pretty much as basic can get. The only two options it has are the 373 gears, which swapped out from the factory 321 gears, and then the Freedom Top, which is a great feature. It's not very much money new, but they are hard to find used, and they're more expensive than if you just got the hardtop on the vehicle to begin with. Now, the Wrangler in 2009 has 202 horsepower to go with 237 foot-pounds of torque, and it still has these old-fashioned plastic outboard clamps that hold the hood down. Still probably the only car in the world that has such a thing. And then as we take a look, big exposed fender flares, and then of course these great big wheels and tires. The wheels themselves are only 17 inches, but they're 35-inch tires, so these are really, really huge tires. And then it has such a short wheelbase that it gives the totally different personality to the vehicle when you have big tires like this. Sometimes if you have like a big, long truck with big four doors, you can put giant tires on it and it doesn't really change the driving characteristics all that much. On a very short wheelbase like this, just the percentage of tire to the rest of the vehicle is so pronounced that it really does change things. So if you are the kind of person who likes to go off-road, this is just as good as it possibly could ever get. Inside, super duper Spartan, and that's kind of the way Jeep people like it, especially true enthusiasts. And then of course you've got the ubiquitous Jeep Wrangler straps right there, and the reason there are straps holding the door is that the door comes off, and so both doors actually come off, and with a whole lot of effort you can actually take the windshield out as well. And then the Freedom Top is a 3-piece top, and so it's more convenient just to take the whole thing off, but you can actually just take off just one part of it, or 2 parts of it, or take off the whole thing, whatever you please. And so getting in and out, well, it's a little bit cumbersome. But again, creature comforts aren't what the Jeep is all about. The Jeep is about getting through anything at any time, whether that's necessarily comfortable or not is in the eyes of the beholder. Taking a look in back, again, this one's not set up for trailer tow, but bear in mind, a Jeep Wrangler only tows 2,000 pounds, so it's not really, even though it's a truck type of chassis, the unlimited version of this, which is 4 doors, will do 3,500 pounds, but it's just not really set up to be a tow vehicle. And then, of course, the way that the license plate is done with zip ties on the back is extra cool, actually, in the eyes of Jeep owners. I don't think you'd see somebody in a Ferrari holding their license plate with zip ties. But of course, a Ferrari can't do anything like this Jeep can do. This one, when you get the Freedom Top, one of the neat things about it is that you actually get a glass rear window with a defroster, and in an environment like we have in Seattle, that's a really valuable feature. If this was in Arizona or something like that, and I just wanted to make this my dune rider, that wouldn't really matter so much. The soft top just zips open, zips closed, and then folds off, but the hard top is a really cool feature, and then you also get the rear window wiper as well. And then your extra little storage, this actually opens up, but your extra little storage is held by just this little fancy device here. And then this opens up to give you where your extra space is for cameras or other outdoor gear. And then just, there you go. And that's their idea of having it locked up. Nice thing about this one is it does have the 5th full-size tire. So again, if you're a weekend warrior and you're taking this through the forest or taking this way out of bounds and you blow a tire, it's nice to know that you don't have a little runt tire in the back. You have the same size tire as the rest of the car has. Let's take a look inside. Now, for the true enthusiast, the 6-speed is definitely the way you want it. The engine, it's not super quiet, but it's not super loud either. You know, people give it a hard time, me included, that it doesn't have as much power as a lot of the other vehicles out there. But to be honest with you, 202 horsepower for a vehicle this size isn't all that bad. 237 foot-pounds of torque. This is a 0 to 60 car in about 10 seconds. So that's not altogether unreasonable for 99% of the kinds of things that you're doing. And yes, the big, huge tires do drive slightly obnoxiously, really. I mean, if you're going down the freeway at 70 miles an hour and you're taking turns, it's something that you're kind of conscious of because you're so tall and there's just so much tire underneath you. But around town, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, to be honest with you, you really don't even notice the difference. There's not much you can do at that speed to really screw up the driving experience. But again, when you go off-road, and then especially with the manual transmission, just nothing in the whole wide world is ever going to compete with not just Jeep as a brand, but this particular Jeep is actually really nice. Miles, 46,000 miles, that's pretty realistic. The condition of the car, this was just traded in, so it hasn't been detailed or anything like that. We did put some shine on the tires, but it actually looks really, really nice inside. They all come with this nice sound bar. They all come with a CD player with an auxiliary jacket. So, I mean, there is some basic stuff to make it an enjoyable experience, but the whole point of this car is for fun, and for, it's a good, hey, check me out, look at me, I've got something that nobody else has. You show up in front of your friends, they're going to be like, wow, I mean, this is a pretty dreamy truck for the right crowd, and it is in superb condition. If you have any questions about this Jeep or anything here at Infiniti of Kirkland, please don't hesitate to give us a call. My name's Joe Tunney. I'm the sales manager here at Infiniti of Kirkland. You can call us anytime, 425-821-1600, or just drop me an email at joet@infinitiofkirkland.com.